Hi, and thank you so much for joining me. My name's Tanya Taylor. I'm a clinical solution-focused hypnotherapist and psychotherapist, and I am joined by the wonderful Mandy from the Chatham Farm Retreat in Bolton. If you're looking for a retreat at any time in the future, I definitely recommend having a look at their website. It is amazing. So thank you so much, Mandy, for coming on and agreeing to chat with me and tell everybody a little bit about your story today. So I've got a couple of questions. My first question is, you've used hypnotherapy to help you with mindset and food. So what were the results for you? What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, well, it kind of all started. My job, I worked for 26 years as a nurse in the NHS. And towards the last few years of that, it was very, very stressful. I went through some difficult times, unfortunately, some kind of bullying incidents and things. So I was suffering quite a lot with my emotional health and well-being. And for me, that kind of showed up in obviously what I was eating and how I was looking after myself emotionally, really. And that affected my physical body. I did gain quite a lot of weight, but I couldn't really understand, because although I was I wasn't eating massive amounts of food, but I probably wasn't eating always the right things, and certainly not at the right times and things like that, and definitely kind of snacking on the hoof. One, because of my job with working shifts and kind of running around and being really busy. Also, as well as my stressful job, I was an adoptive parent and we were trying to set up a new business, and lots of things were going on in my life. And I didn't really notice kind of my physical changes in my body, because when you're kind of in the middle of something, you don't always notice that change, do you? But I left, I kind of decided to leave that job about 3 years ago and kind of reevaluate my life, really. And I retrained myself in emotional health and wellbeing for children. And so through that, I started obviously taking a lot more care of myself, noticing that I wasn't as healthy as I wanted to be. And my physical body had really changed a lot. So I started looking into what I could do to change that. And although I'd done other things like everyone's done before around actual food and weight loss and traditional diets, we've all tried all the various, I'm sure, the different groups, that are out there. But I knew that my eating wasn't physically the amount necessarily and things like that. And I just wanted to look at something else. So I came across, obviously, the support of hypnotherapy, and just started working with that, really. So that was how I came to find it, through my own kind of struggles. So, yeah.
And what was your experience of doing the hypnosis, and what was your experience with your mindset in general?
Yeah, like you were saying, the way hypnosis works around food, it's around changing your relationship with food. So as you say, we're not talking about necessarily the quantities that you eat. We don't weigh measure things. We don't weigh measure yourself. It's about yourself and your mind. So initially, I was learning about my brain anyway from my own job with Relaxed Kids, and then obviously that came into the hypnotherapy. So learning, like you say, what our triggers are, what it is, why I was maybe turning to those snacks or that glass of wine of an evening to cope. It was actually an emotional trigger. So if I could, work on that and help to feel more calm, more relaxed, look at my emotions and not use food as a crutch. Those were the kind of things that I learned through working with the hypnotherapy.
Brilliant, brilliant. And what impact has it had on your life then?
Just completely, well, I'm a different person physically. In total, I've lost 7 stone. I nearly said 11 then. I've lost 7 stone, which is a massive amount of weight. That wasn't all through the hypnotherapy. And as we know, we don't really talk about weight loss. I had some surgery because I had a hernia operation. But probably the last 4 stone has been around me physically changing my emotional relationship with food,
Yeah.
definitely. So obviously there's the physical health impacts, which are amazing, and not just the physical weight loss. I had other conditions such as high blood pressure. I was diagnosed with actually quite severe sleep apnea, which have all either resolved or become manageable, which is amazing. So I feel like a completely different person. I'm a lot happier, I'm more positive, I'm physically well, which is obviously really important, but I'm emotionally well. And
Yeah.
that for me was the biggest thing. And it's been about 3 years since I started obviously using hypnotherapy as a way to support my emotional health. And I know certainly for me at the moment, we're all going through a pretty tough time, aren't we? And the fact is, those kind of triggers and me being quite stressed has kind of led me back into some of those similar eating patterns. But again, it's understanding and knowing and having the skills and tools that I've learned through hypnotherapy and the kind of things that you're offering. It's amazing because you can go back and use them again and just kind of remind yourself of what it is you need to do and how you need to work on your mindset and your emotions, and that then transfers into your eating and your everyday life. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I think you touched on a real key point there with the fact that we can go and get help and we can do our best to maintain that help, but our emotions aren't a set state, so things happen that are out of our control and we might have dips, but actually once you have learned how to manage those dips, you can revisit those tools again and get back in control again, before it gets too out of hand.
Yeah, definitely. The tools for life. And once you have the kind of support that you're offering through the hypnotherapy, understanding, it's amazing. Kind of just understanding that brain and body connection is really powerful. And as I say, I use it in my own work as well, mainly with children. But obviously for my own personal health and development, it's amazing to just understand that our emotions are linked to our body. You know, our body tells us so many things with those thoughts and feelings. And to be able to have a basic understanding of that, well, it's a really powerful tool that I can't recommend highly enough, really. And it's been a life changer for me in a lot of ways. So yeah.
And how quickly did you start to notice the impact of the changes that you were making?
Quite quickly, really. I mean, I was having kind of regular sessions over, like, the initial work that I did was over a few weeks. But like you say, it's about getting those tools and tips, but then just it's about continuity, really. So once you've got those tools and tips, it's like anything. If you use it and practice it, then it's going to work for you. But yeah, very, very quickly, really. But it was about to be able to maintain it and make it part of your life. It's about using those on a regular basis. It's not a magic wand, like you say, there's no quick fix to a lot of these things, but they are amazing, powerful tools that can work straight away for people. Again, I've had other people that have used this type of work that I know, and within the first session of kind of having that understanding of their emotions, they've come back the next week and kind of said, wow, you know, the changes can be really quick, which is amazing and
Yeah.
exciting at the same time, but they're long lasting so long as you practice them.
Yeah, I have a lot of clients who have had, like you say, that very kind of profound kind of eureka moment of, gosh, you know,
Yeah.
why wasn't I taught this at school? Why did I not know this already? Why isn't everybody being taught this? To then kind of clients who contact me like a year later and say, just hit this, and being really, really proud of themselves, whatever that goal was. And I do see clients not just for weight loss and weight management, but also for looking at gaining weight as well. And I think it's very
You
similar
say
to
about,
both sides of the coin.
yeah, it's about changing your relationship with food, definitely. And I know when I was doing it, that was the the ultimate goal. Like you say, the weight loss was an amazing side effect, and for me, I needed to lose weight. I had gained weight for various reasons. Obviously, lots of people, they may not have gained weight, or they may want to actually put weight on, but it's all about, the focus isn't the weight, as you know. It's around your mindset and changing your relationship with food. And again, I feel in this country, I know I was always brought up, there was a lot of us like, you eat everything on your plate, you don't leave the table till you finish your food. We were brought up in that kind of era. You know, those kind of things. So there's things, like you say, emotions. We always celebrate with food, with cakes, with, you know, going out for meals in restaurants, and that is all fine. But it is understanding, and that's about your brain and your lifestyle and your childhood and all of those kind of things. And it is, once you start to learn about it and start using the tools, it's absolutely fascinating and, again, really, really powerful. So yeah, it's amazing.
And would you recommend that other people learn about mindset in relation to food?
Oh, completely. Like you say, for me, I use it in lots of different ways within my own health and my own work. But for me, the food one has been a really massive change in my life and has made me a lot healthier. Like I say, not just around the weight, there's other benefits to that. It can boost your self-esteem and your confidence as well. So yeah, there are loads of benefits, and it's really, really powerful. It is, once you get to understand it. People can be scared of hypnotherapy, can't they? And I think understanding what it is, come along, learn the basics of what it is. It's not scary. It's just about you and your mind, and you can then transfer that into so many other areas of your life. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. And yeah.
Thank you. And you touched upon another real key point before as well, that it isn't about weight loss. It is about changing your mindset and relationship with food. And, you know, I get regular clients who come to me because they want to lose weight. And of course, I'll help them to, again, with their mindset. And actually, I would say it's about 50-50. I have some people who go away losing weight, and I have other people who actually make a conscious decision of, actually, do you know what? My weight's just fine. I'm now really, really happy in my own skin. And it's kind of, it is that, I suppose, recognizing in yourself what it is that's right for you and what's going to work for you. And the more you learn, the more your self-image and your confidence changes as well.
Definitely. And that's what I was saying to you, like you say, because it's, sometimes we have an image of ourselves in our mind, and it may be about our physical appearance, and we may think it's about weight. And if we change our weight, then we're going to be happy. But we all know, just looking out there in the world, you know, people are all different shapes and sizes and can be happy or unhappy or struggling emotionally. And people go up and down. I mean, that's why there is such a massive diet industry, isn't there? Because you can look purely at the weight and the food and weighing and measuring everything, but if you're not actually looking at why are you eating that, what is triggering you, as you say, how you're feeling about your own personal self-esteem, then that circle of weight gain, weight loss, you know, your relationship with food is never going to change. And again, I think that's something massive that I've learned over the last 3 years, because I've been through those diet industry groups. I still like some of those groups. I went along to a particular group which also helped me during my weight loss journey, because I did have a weight loss journey. And again, but what I found for me, I went for the support network, the interaction with other people, the boost that I got from them, rather than what the diet and the weighing and the measuring and those kind of things were about. I went for that group support. And again, obviously with what you're running, where it's going to be a group, which again, I think people are going to get that as well, which is amazing.
Yeah, and I think mentioning the other kind of products and services out there, one of the things I really like about hypnosis is that it complements them quite nicely, because again, it's changing your mindset. So they might be very food focused, But for you, it's kind of learning, well, what foods are right for you, what works for you, why are you going for those foods, and what do you want to replace those foods with in the future that still give you what you were hoping to get from them, or what your body was hoping to get from them. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Mandy. I'm so grateful for you coming on. I am going to stop recording now and just say thank you so much. Bye bye.
It was my pleasure. No problem. Bye now.